Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Easy English Talk Show. I'm Linda, and I'm really happy to have you with us today. If this is your first time here, this show is all about learning English through natural, real-life conversations. And of course, I'm not alone. I'm here with my co-host, Alex.
Hi, everyone. I'm Alex. Thank you so much for listening today. We really appreciate you choosing to practice your English with us. We know your time is valuable, and we're glad to be part of your learning journey.
Before we begin, a quick reminder. If you enjoy our conversations and find them helpful, please like this episode and subscribe to the channel. That support helps us continue creating useful content for English learners around the world.
Absolutely. And today's topic is a very important one, especially for people who are looking for a job or planning their career.
Yes, today we're talking about job interviews. A job interview is often the first real chance to introduce yourself to an employer, talk about your experience, and show who you are. It can feel exciting, stressful, or even a little scary, especially in another language.
That's true. Many people worry about what to say and how to say it.
Exactly. So speaking of job interviews, Alex, how are you feeling today? So, Alex, before we go deeper into today's topic, let me ask you a simple question. How are you today?
I'm doing pretty well, Linda, but honestly, job interviews are on my mind lately. I feel a mix of emotions. Sometimes I feel a little nervous, especially when I think about answering questions in English. But at the same time, I also feel excited because interviews mean new opportunities. And on good days, I actually feel quite confident, especially when I know I've prepared well.
That's very normal. I think most people feel exactly the same way. I still remember preparing my CV for my first job interview. I checked it again and again, worried about small details like spelling or how to describe my experience. Even after I finished, I kept thinking, is this good enough?
Yes, that feeling is very familiar. Waiting before an interview can be stressful too.
Absolutely. I remember sitting in the waiting room before my first interview. My hands were cold and my heart was beating fast. I tried to smile, but inside I was really nervous. And after the interview, the hardest part was waiting for the email response.
That waiting time is tough. Every time you check your email, you hope to see a message from the company.
Exactly. Sometimes you feel hopeful, and sometimes you start to doubt yourself. But looking back now, I realize that each interview helped me learn something, even when I didn't get the job.
I agree. Every interview is a chance to practice and improve. Even feeling nervous is part of the process.
That's a great way to see it. Job interviews can be stressful, but they are also great opportunities. Before we move into the main part of today's episode, let's clearly explain what a job interview is. A job interview is a meeting between a job applicant and an employer. During this meeting, the employer asks questions and the candidate answers them to show their skills, experience, and personality.
A job interview is very important because it's your chance to introduce yourself. You can talk about your background, explain what you are good at, and show why you are a good fit for the job. It's not only about having the right skills, but also about how you communicate.
For English learners, this topic is especially useful. Learning how to talk about yourself, your work, and your skills in English can help you feel more confident in real-life situations.
So, in this episode, you will learn common job interview vocabulary, how to answer popular job interview questions, and how to talk about your experience and strengths using simple and clear English.
So now, let's start by talking about interview experiences. So, Alex, let me ask you something to begin our main conversation. Have you ever had a job interview that you remember clearly?
Yes, definitely. I still remember my first real job interview very clearly. An interview is a formal meeting where someone asks you questions to see if you are right for a job. That interview was a big moment for me because it was my first step into the working world.
What made it so memorable?
It was my first serious experience. An experience is something you do or go through in your life that teaches you something. I had prepared my CV, practiced some answers, and even chose my clothes carefully, but when I entered the room, I felt very nervous.
Nervous means feeling worried or anxious, especially before something important.
Yes, my hands were a little shaky and my voice didn't sound like my usual voice at first. But after answering a few questions, I slowly felt more comfortable. The interviewer smiled and that helped me relax. Even though I didn't get that job, the interview taught me a lot.
I can really relate to that. I still remember my first job interview too. I was nervous before it started, and I kept thinking about what questions they might ask. I worried about my English and whether I would say the right things.
Did it get better once the interview started?
Yes, a little. Once I started talking about myself and my interests, I felt more natural. Looking back now, I realize that being nervous is not a bad thing. It just means the interview is important to you.
Exactly. And every interview, good or bad, becomes a learning experience.
That's true. And now that we've shared our first job interview memories, let's move on to some specific situations people often face before, during, and after a job interview. Alex, before an interview happens, preparation is very important. How do you prepare for a job interview?
I try to prepare as well as I can. To prepare means to get ready for something in advance. First, I carefully read the job description so I understand what the company is looking for. Then I review my resume. A resume is a document that shows your work experience, education, and skills. I make sure everything is clear and easy to understand.
That's a great start.
I also do some research about the company. Research means looking for information. I check the company's website, learn about their values, and try to understand their work culture. This helps me feel more confident and shows the interviewer that I'm serious about the job.
That's very helpful advice. Preparation really makes a big difference. During interviews, there are some questions people hear again and again. What questions do interviewers often ask?
One very common question is, tell me about yourself. This is a chance to briefly introduce yourself and talk about your background. To introduce yourself means to share basic information about who you are and what you do. Another common question is, why do you want this job? Interviewers ask this to understand your motivation and interest in the position.
Yes, and when answering these questions, it's important to talk about your skills and strengths. A skill is something you can do well, like communication or problem solving. A strength is a positive quality you have, such as being organized or reliable.
Exactly. You don't need long answers. Simple sentences work well. For example, I have good communication skills, or one of my strengths is working well in a team.
Now let's talk about feelings. How do you feel during an interview?
At the beginning, I usually feel nervous. That's normal because interviews can be stressful.
Stress is the feeling of pressure or worry.
But after a few questions, I start to feel more confident. Confident means believing in yourself and your abilities. When I see that the interviewer is listening and responding positively, I feel calmer.
Yes, staying calm is very important. Calm means relaxed and not too worried. Taking a deep breath before answering a question can really help.
I agree. Once I calm down, I can think more clearly and answer questions better.
After the interview ends, what comes next? What do you usually do after an interview?
After an interview, I usually send a short thank you email. This is called a follow-up. Follow-up means taking an extra step after something happens. In the email, I thank the interviewer for their time and say I'm interested in the job. Then I wait for feedback. Feedback is information about how well you did. Sometimes companies send feedback and sometimes they don't.
And waiting can be the hardest part.
Yes, waiting for the results can feel stressful. The result is the final answer, whether you get the job or not. Even if the result is not what I hoped for, I try to learn from the experience and prepare better for the next interview.
That's a great attitude. Every interview helps you grow and improve. You know, Alex, the more we talk about job interviews, the more I realize how important interview skills are for a person's career.
Even if you have good experience and strong skills, it's hard to succeed if you can't communicate them clearly in an interview.
I completely agree. A job interview is often your first real chance to show that you are professional. Professional means behaving in a serious, respectful, and appropriate way at work. Interviewers don't only listen to what you say, but also how you say it.
That's why practice is so important. When I was preparing for interviews, I used to practice speaking in front of a mirror. Sometimes I also practiced with friends. It helped me hear my own voice, notice my body language, and feel more prepared. Prepared means ready for something.
That's a great method. I think preparation is the key to feeling confident. Confident means believing in yourself and your abilities. When you know what you want to say and how to say it, you naturally feel more relaxed.
Exactly. And another important thing is being honest. Honest means telling the truth. In interviews, it's better to be honest about your experience and skills. You don't need to exaggerate or pretend to know everything.
Yes, interviewers appreciate honesty. If you talk about your real strengths and real experience, your answers sound more natural. For example, instead of saying, "I'm perfect," you can say, "I'm good at teamwork, and I'm still learning."
That's a great example. You can also talk about your experience in a simple way, like, "I have 2 years of experience in customer service," or "One of my strengths is communication."
These simple sentences show who you are and what you can offer, and that's what interviewers really want to know.
Exactly. Interview skills are not just about getting one job. They help you grow and feel more confident throughout your career.
And now that we've talked about preparation, confidence, and honesty,
Let's practice a real job interview conversation. Good morning, Alex. Thank you for coming in today. Please have a seat.
good morning, Linda. Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Let's begin with a common question. Can you tell me about yourself?
Of course. I'm Alex, and I'm applying for this position because I'm interested in growing my career. I have experience working with different teams, and I enjoy learning new things. I try to be reliable and organized in my work.
Thank you. That's clear. Now, what experience do you have related to this job?
I have 2 years of experience in customer support. In my previous job, I helped customers solve problems and worked closely with my team. This experience helped me improve my communication skills and learn how to stay calm under pressure.
That sounds useful. One last question. Why should we hire you?
I believe I'm a good fit for this position because I'm motivated, willing to learn, and I work well with others. I take my responsibilities seriously and always try to do my best.
Thank you, Alex. I appreciate your honest and confident answers.
Thank you for the opportunity.
And for everyone listening, this is how you can talk in a job interview in real life.
Now let's take some time to review the key vocabulary from today's episode. These words are very common in job interviews, and knowing how to use them correctly will help you speak more clearly and confidently.
Let's start with the word interview. An interview is a formal meeting where an employer asks questions to decide if a person is right for a job.
Here are some examples. I have a job interview tomorrow. The interview lasted about 30 minutes. Now, please repeat after us. Interview.
The next word is resume. A resume is a document that shows your education, work history, and skills.
Examples. I updated my resume before the interview. My resume includes my work experience and skills. Repeat with us. Resume.
Now let's look at experience. Experience means the work or activities you have done in the past that help you do a job better.
Examples. I have experience in customer service. This job gave me valuable experience. Repeat after us. Experience.
The next word is skill. A skill is something you can do well, often because you have practiced it.
Examples. Communication is an important skill. I have strong computer skills. Repeat. Skill.
Now let's talk about strength. A strength is a positive quality or ability that you have.
Examples. One of my strengths is teamwork. My strengths include being organized and reliable. Repeat after us. Strength.
The next word is prepare. To prepare means to get ready for something in advance.
Examples. I prepared my answers before the interview. It's important to prepare well for a job interview. Repeat, prepare.
And our final word is confident. Confident means believing in yourself and your abilities.
Examples. She felt confident during the interview. Practice helps you become more confident. Repeat with us, confident.
Great job. Let's quickly review today's 7 words together. Interview, resume, experience, skill, strength, prepare, and confident.
Now let's see how you can use these words in real interview sentences. I prepared my resume for the interview. I have experience and skills that match the job. One of my strengths is communication, and I feel confident talking to people.
These sentences are simple, but they sound clear and professional. Using them can help you feel more relaxed in an interview.
Exactly. Practice these words often, say them out loud, and try to use them when you talk about your job experience.
Now, let's move on to a short practice to help you use this vocabulary actively.
Now it's time to practice using the vocabulary and ideas we've learned about job interviews. This part will help you speak more naturally and feel more confident. Try to say the sentences out loud as you listen.
Let's start with a few model sentences. Please listen carefully and repeat them in your own voice.
Here is the first sentence. I prepared well for my job interview. Take a moment and repeat that sentence.
Good job. Here is the second sentence. One of my strengths is communication. Now say it out loud.
And here is the third sentence. I feel confident when I talk about my experience. Great work. Speaking clearly is more important than speaking fast.
Now let's try a simple sentence where you complete the idea. Listen to this. I have experience in ... Think about a job or activity you know.
For example, you could say, I have experience in customer service, or I have experience in teaching.
Here is another one. One of my skills is ... You can choose a skill like communication, teamwork, or problem solving.
Now let's move to a personal question. What is one skill you are good at? Try to answer out loud in a full sentence.
Here are some sample answers to help you. One skill I am good at is communication. I am good at working in a team. I am good at organizing my work.
Excellent job practicing. Remember, every sentence you say makes you more prepared for a real interview.
Exactly. Keep practicing and you'll feel more confident every time. Now, let's move on to our summary.
All right, everyone. Let's take a moment to review what we covered in today's episode. The main goal of this lesson was to help you feel more comfortable and confident talking about job interviews in English. We focused on real situations that many people experience before, during, and after an interview.
Yes, and throughout the episode, Linda and I shared our own interview stories. We talked about our first interviews, the nervous feelings before walking into the room, and how preparation helped us feel more confident. These experiences show that feeling nervous is normal and that every interview is a chance to learn.
We also discussed how to prepare for interviews, how to answer common questions, and how to talk about your experience, skills, and strengths in simple English.
Let's quickly review the 7 key vocabulary words from today. Interview, resume, experience, skill, strength, prepare, confident.
These words are very useful in real job interviews. You can use them to talk about yourself clearly and professionally, even if your English is not perfect.
The most important thing to remember is that a job interview is not only a test, it is an opportunity. It's your chance to show who you are, what you can do, and what you want to learn.
Exactly. With preparation, honesty, and practice, you can improve your interview skills step by step.
You did great today. Thank you for listening and practicing with us.
Now, let's finish with our question of the day. And now it's time for our question of the day. What job would you like to apply for? It can be your dream job, your first job, or a position you are preparing for right now. Try to answer using a simple sentence, such as, I would like to apply for a marketing position, or I want to apply for a customer service job.
We'd love to read your answers, so please share them in the comments below. Writing your answer in English is a great way to practice, and it can help you feel more confident when talking about your career goals.
Thank you so much for spending your time with us today. We hope this episode helped you feel more prepared and confident about job interviews in English.
If you found this episode helpful, please remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our future episodes.
We'll see you next time on the Easy English Talk Show.
Take care and good luck with your job search. Bye.
Bye.